Hello, this is the second part of my Last of Us 2 leak discussion. The first part was completely spoiler-free, so if you don't want spoilers, just go to my first video. In that video I don't discuss the leaks at all, but rather what caused the leak to happen in the first place. So it's more about the circumstances surrounding this controversy. That being said, this video on the other hand going to be filled with spoilers, so be warned. Well, I really hope this video is not going to be removed from YouTube, because Sony is currently really abusing the copyright system. But, well, we do what we can. So let's discuss why are people cancelling pre-orders and just generally losing the will to play this game. Well, I am certainly one of them, but one of the reasons is actually not because of the leaks themselves. I just want to mention this because, you know, in this video I would like to give every detail why I personally feel I don't want to play with this game. But one of the reasons is an official statement, actually. Well, to be short, this game is going to feature dogs. And not just feature them, where you are trying to be stealthy and go around in the level. These dogs are going to sniff you out and alert everyone around you. You know, it's a pretty general mechanic in most of the video games. But still, that means that either you will have a really hard time being undetected, or you need to kill dogs. And actually, we get from the promotional material a really gross depiction of this. They literally stated that they wanted to give an emotional attachment for you for these dogs. So if you kill any of these dogs, their owner is going to call them by name, and if they don't find them, they are going to search for them. And when they realize that you just massacred their fluffy friend, they are going to cry in horror. Well, yeah, this is literally what the promotion material says. Well, in short, I love dogs. And in video games, when I need to hurt dogs, I just don't want to. Of course, I can get over it and, you know, go on with the game, but I really don't like to do this. The most heartbreaking moment in my gaming history is killing Sif. That is the biggest fluffball in the entire fantasy universe, and to rub salt in the wound, From Software actually included a feature that if Sif is under 10% HP or so, it's going to start to move slower and it's visibly hurt and dying, and I just really don't like to hurt dogs. So yeah, this is not part of the leaks, but for me, it's a huge turnoff that they intentionally trying to play with your feelings by giving you dogs to kill. But aside from this side note, let's take a look at the real leaks. So the first spoiler we need to talk about is Abby. Abby is the character which featured in the Last of Us trailers, and from that we could know already that she is going to have a really big part in the story, but back then we did not realize how prominent her role will be. She will brutally murder Joel, the main character of the first game. And not just that, but after she does that, you are going to control her to hunt down Ellie in half of the game. Yeah, now just this information itself is enough for most of the fans to be instantaneously outraged, and rightfully so. Personally, I and maybe most of the gamers who played with the first episode did suspect that Joel is going to die in this game. Well, there was a really high chance for that. Joel's death was one of the biggest hitting weapons the writer team had. But that being said, establishing a playable character with Joel's death is just, well, let's say it doesn't make any sense. You see, if you create a character which is going to kill one of the most beloved characters in the game, it's going to be a villain. Oh, by the way, she is not just killing Joel, she is beating Joel to death with a golf club. At this point, Abby can only have two functions in the story. Either she is going to be presented as the worst human being possible, just to be revealed that she has a soft side and be judged her by the wrong circumstances, and in reality she's a really good person, and the game is trying to show us her good side and maybe trying us to convince that we should like her. Or she is going to be the worst human being possible, and her function in the game is just going to simply be for us to hate her. At this point, no matter which direction the story is going to go, it's just simply bad writing. Let's take a look at version A. I don't care how tragic her backstory is. I don't care that her real personality is actually a real Care Bear and her soft side is just the cutest thing ever. I hate her and I despise everything what she does. So that being said, the version B, that her function in the game is to be hated, actually seems really fitting. But giving me a character which I am going to hate to be a playable character half of my playthrough is just, yeah, let's say I don't want to control her. I don't want to do the outrageous things which this character is going to do. For example, beating up a pregnant woman. Yeah, that's also a leaked video. Abby is going to find Ellie and Dina later in the story, and while Abby is going to beat up Ellie brutally, Dina is trying to save her. But guess what? Abby is beating her up too. So yeah, for me it's a really disgusting idea that I am going to control a character while she is beating up a pregnant woman. Okay, you can easily establish this character for me to hate, but I don't need to control her for that. Or, you know, it's trying to be something morally grey. That, yeah, she's a bad person, but she's not that bad. But when you actually see her soft side, she's going to do one of the worst things possible. And by controlling her, you will feel this emotional roller coaster that you don't know whether or not you should hate her or like her. Yeah, I don't like this idea, because I do believe that it will not work. So this direction that the game is trying to go, that I need to get to know this character really well before I can find out whether or not she kills my favorite character. Well, yeah, I don't want to play this. I don't want to see this. And I'm pretty sure that this story is trying to go into a direction that you should hate this character with all of your heart, and when in the end she is finally killed and you feel the satisfaction that yes, the worst human being possible is finally killed, then the game is going to give you something like her death is going to cause great consequences or something like that, and this circle of violence need to be stopped because it's not good for anyone or something like that, which I just call lazy writing. Okay, at this point I just know the leaks, so the writing still can be the best in the world. This game's story still can be the best story ever told, but the parts I saw is giving me every reason not to believe that. I just simply don't see this character's journey as one I want to see. I just simply can't see how this story can come together to be something great. As far as I know from these leaks, this is something I don't want to see at all. I don't want to play it at all, and I don't want my money spent on it. But you know, I really hope that I am wrong. I love the first game, and it breaks my heart because the story of this game could go on so many directions. We have a really interesting world, we have a really interesting plague. You can have new type of zombies, you can have new type of societies, you can have a new character relationship. I would have been really interested to see how Joel is growing to be an old guy in a zombie apocalypse, and just, you know, generally how his physique is start to fail him and his general struggle in this world. I would have been interested in this. His character drama, how slowly but surely he needs to realize that even though he still can walk, his time is up. I would have been really interested about this story. Or the story of Ellie, who could realize that she indeed is the cure of this. Or that we can find out that other people also immune to this plague, And maybe we can have a chance to start a new society. There are so many interesting pathways and so many interesting things which you could explore. And what you do, Naughty Dog? What did you do? The most generic, the most cliché circle of violence, it doesn't solve anything, yada yada yada. It's just the worst thing I can imagine. I did look forward this game because in my mind I was exploring millions of intriguing and interesting places where the next episode can bring us. And this, well, let's say it did surpass my expectations. Okay, this dialogue became a little bit of a rant. But yeah, you know what? I'm passionate about this game, and I'm just sad that this is what's happening to it. Anyway,